Risky.
S playing on the track.
Bigger waist, fine face, 10 days. I don't wait for you, my charge. For you, my charge.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a different foundation routine. I've been seeing this like on YouTube and a lot of YouTubers, mostly Aina. So I've seen it on her first and then I saw it trending on YouTube. Firstly, to my new subbies, welcome to my family. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and to my returning subbies, thank you guys for sticking by. We are growing, you guys. We are really growing. We're on the road to 1k subscribers and I can't wait until we get there. Okay, so back to what we are going to be doing today. So basically what we'll be doing is starting by applying powder on my face instead of applying foundation and then powder after. Apparently this is a good technique for people who have oily skin. I have combination skin, but my skin is mostly oily, like literally all the time. It also depends on seasons as well. Sometimes it's just straight up oily, and then like during winter times, that's where I see dry patches mostly, but most of the times it's just always oily. And apparently this is a good technique to keep your foundation flawless and for it to stay longer on your skin without like creasing and like getting greasy and needing to touch up and all that jazz. So we're gonna try that today, and we're just gonna basically observe how the foundation applies with the powder on, and then also see how the foundation after everything is applied on the face, how it looks like, you know. So we're not gonna go in deep to like seeing if how it's gonna last like throughout the day, how it's gonna do when I'm moving or like working, because I won't be doing anything. We're still on quarantine, we're still safely home, so there's no moving around, there's no working. You know, this is the foundation that we'll be using. I showed you guys this foundation like last year, yeah, towards the end last year when I was doing the NYX lipsticks review. So I showed you guys this foundation as well, and I've used it after that and I really loved it. It's perfect, it matches my skin really perfectly. And yeah, so let's get into it, you guys. And it's bad hair days. This quarantine thing is really, I can't cut my hair. My hair is grown and now I have like mixed color hair. I don't know what's going on in my head, so I decided let's wig it instead. So I'm just gonna start by moisturizing my face first.
For you, my child. Take me everywhere you want to go. Oh, tell me.
And then we're gonna go on ahead and prime, because that's what Aina does. And all the other YouTubers I've seen, but on TikTok they did it like differently. They would like literally put on powder and then primer afterwards. I cannot take that risk. I feel like the primer would draw on top of powder. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense for me to put powder before you prime, because like primer is for skin, is to prep your skin, and I believe you should prep your skin well before you apply makeup on. So I'm gonna do this the Aina way. After putting on moisturizer, I'm gonna go on ahead and prime my face. I'm using the Estee Lauder mattifying primer, the one I showed you guys on my previous video. I really loved this primer, I love it. So
Baby girl, you know I like your style. Baby girl, you know I love your body. Oh, everything you do, we do together.
okay, so right after that we're gonna go in with the powder, a translucent powder, not a pressed powder, guys. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. You start on with a translucent powder, not a compound or a pressed powder. So this is the powder that I use. It's from Yardley. It's a translucent powder in shade caramelized. So we're gonna be using that. Usually I use a brush when applying powder, but Jackie Aina uses a sponge, so I'm gonna use a sponge as well. Okay, so this is the beauty blender that I'm gonna use applying the powder on my face, and I'm just gonna start right here and press the powder into my skin. I'm mostly applying the oil on my T-zone because that's the part of my face that is like most oily than the rest of my face. So I'm starting there, and then I'm gonna go to the rest of my face. Also my eyelids, you can tell even now they're super oily. I don't know what's up with my eyelids, but they always super oily.
You want the fun, no face, I no go talk, Scarface for you, my child, for you, my child. Take me everywhere you want to go. Oh, tell me everything I want to know. No lie, oh no lie. Yeah, run up anyhow you want to run.
My skin looks so dry after this. Okay, so I'm done now applying powder, and usually what Jackie Aina does, I said I was doing this the Jackie Aina way. So usually what Jackie Aina does after this is I think she sprays her face, like she sets her face with the setting spray. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild setting spray and just set my face. Okay, so now the setting spray has dried up, and my face looks normal again. I don't look as dry as I did after applying the powder, so I guess this powder is set. So far I look good. So let's go in with the foundation. I'm just gonna pour in 2 pumps of that foundation at the back, on the back of my hand. This is the foundation that I'm using, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation in shade Deep Rich. That's the shade on the cap of the foundation. It's in Deep Rich, and it's said to be a full coverage foundation, also with a matte finish. So let's see. Now I already mattified my face with the powder. Let's see how it goes with a matte foundation on top. So I'm just gonna go in with my brush and start right here. Another thing that I'm noticing with this powder technique, I feel like it did cover up some marks on my face already. So this foundation, it shouldn't take that much of this foundation to cover up the rest of the scarring on my face.
S playing on the track.
Big waist, fine face, 10 days, I don't wait for you, my charge.
Okay, so far this foundation is applying really well, you guys. Like it's just applying really well. It's not rolling. There's no difficulty in applying the foundation. It's just applying smoothly and blending in with everything that I already put on my skin. I literally don't see anything. It's actually applying more flawlessly than normal. I don't know if it's me or I wanted this technique to work because I have oily skin. Obviously it's gonna work very well for me when summer comes, even during winter. But like seriously, it's really applying so well. This side I was using the dabbing motions. So what I'm gonna do, this side I'm gonna try to use the dragging motions, but normally you guys already know this, I always blend my foundation onto my skin using the dabbing motion rather than the swiping motion, because I don't want to leave streaks of the brushes like on my skin. So I'm just gonna try to do the dragging motion and then see how it is, but later on I'm gonna blend it the way I usually blend my foundation, because I want it to be flawless. Not that it's not flawless when you do the dragging, but I feel like it's more flawless when you do the dabbing motion. So I'm just gonna do that. Let's take foundation. Let's see. I just want to see if it's gonna roll or apply any different. Guys, are you seeing this? Like, it's applying. Wow. Wow, it's applying more smoothly than it usually does, and there's no streaks there. Like, the foundation is just applying nicely.
And let's get risky, risky. Oh boy, risky, risky, What you say, killer come.
Okay guys, I do not see any difference on my skin. Like in terms of how I applied the foundation, I don't see any difference. It applied flawlessly and smoothly on both sides. This side I was using the dabbing motions while applying the foundation using my brush, and then on this side I was using the swiping motions, and in both sides it looks flawless. Like, it's stunning. I love this so very much, and I think it's gonna be an all-time thing, if not an everyday thing, depending on how much time I have before applying makeup. But I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a must do, so we're doing it. And then okay, in terms of the foundation coverage, right here, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but right here you can still see my acne scars. Even this side right here. What I'm gonna do, I already poured another pump on the back of my hand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to layer the foundation up again on the places where I feel like it didn't cover enough, and then I'm gonna apply foundation in the rest of my face, and then we're gonna see how everything looks like after that.
No doubt. What you say, killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Party whiskey, get tips, but I think risky. Killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Party whiskey, get tips, but I think risky. Risky, yes, your body risky. Risky, me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky. Risky, yes, your body risky. Risky, yes, your body risky. Me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky. Baby girl, you know I like your style. Baby girl, you know I love your body. Oh, everything you do, we do together. Baby, we are meant to last forever. No matter the weather, me and you together. You better believe it, shawty.
Okay, so now we're done applying the foundation, and honestly it applied so well. It applied so perfectly, and after layering the next foundation on my face, it still doesn't roll. And even after layering it, because I had to like sort of apply another layer of foundation and try to blend it in, because it wasn't covering all my acne scars. Even after doing that, it applied really well, and I feel like it's blending onto my skin perfectly. In terms of being matte, I still see my natural skin glowing underneath the foundation. It's not like I'm like bled matte because I applied powder and then foundation on top of powder. Like, I'm still looking super good. I'm not like dried out, and even my skin doesn't feel like dry. Everything still feels normal on my skin. I don't know though, in terms of holding up, if it would hold up or I would actually get oily as soon as I usually do when I do not put on like powder underneath my foundation. I don't know. I don't have a way of testing that right now, because staying home and staying safe. So yeah, we'll probably I'm gonna continue like doing this technique even after lockdown, and then I'm gonna give you guys update like in one of my videos, probably after the lockdown is over and this COVID-19 nightmare is not here anymore and it's all over. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go on ahead with my two concealers, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, this one in shade honey meal or meal, I don't know how to pronounce that name, and then with my LA Girl concealer as well, that is getting finished now because yep, this one is in shade espresso. So I'm just gonna go on ahead, highlight my face, conceal my under eyes.
Me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky. Me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky. Baby girl, you know I like your style. Baby girl, you know I love your body. Oh, everything you do, we do together. Baby, we are meant to last forever. No matter the weather, me and you together. You better believe it, shawty, that we gon' get this money. Oh, we gon' get this money. So keep on rockin', shawty, and let's get risky. Oh, boy. Risky, yeah.
Okay, so I know if you're a Jackie Aina fan like I am, you would maybe expect me to wait like right now for my concealer to dry up a bit before I blend it. But nope, we're not doing that. We were just doing the powder part of Jackie Aina. These concealers tend to dry out really quickly, and now like while applying the LA Girl one, it's mostly thicker and it does dry up a bit quick, but not that quickly. The one that dries out quickly mostly is the L'Oreal one, and I could feel when applying the first one that it's not gliding in smoothly, you know. So I don't want now to have like a rolling face, so I'm gonna go on ahead and blend this in, and then I'm gonna let you guys know if they're not blending in smoothly as they usually do. Let's see.
For you, my child. You want the fun, no cares. I no go talk, Scarface for you, my child. For you, my child. Take me everywhere you want to go. Oh, tell me everything I want to know. No lie, oh no lie. Yeah, run up anyhow you want to run. Shake 'em, baby girl, you fire past the gun. No doubt. No doubt. But you say, killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Party whiskey, get tipsy, but I think risky. Killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Party whiskey, get tipsy, but I think risky, yes, your body risky. Me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky, me no one go 50-50.
Okay, so now that I'm done with the concealer, there's one thing I can tell you is that around the eyes, it was a little bit of more effort was needed than usual to blend out the concealer. I felt like it was a bit holding on and sticking, you know, and then when I tried to move it with a brush, it would sort of cause some patching, so I would have to be precise with that. I don't know though, maybe it's because there's like creasing around there, and the skin that's actually around your eyes is a bit thinner and softer than the skin that's like everywhere on your face. So like, because when I was blending in my forehead and chin, it literally didn't take that much effort. I just did what I usually do and it blended in perfectly and nicely. However, with around my eyes, it took a little bit more effort than it usually does. So I guess you might wanna You might want to take it easy with the powder around those areas when you follow this technique. So that's the only slight difficulty I've came across thus far with this technique. So now I'm gonna go on ahead and apply setting powder again on the highest points of my face where I just highlighted with a concealer. So I'm gonna go in with my Yardley translucent powder again, because this is the only powder that I use. I'm not gonna necessarily bake, but I'm just gonna basically set the concealer.
I no go talk, Scarface for you, my child. For you, my child. Take me everywhere you want to go. Oh, tell me everything I want to know. No lie. Oh, no lie. Yeah, run up anyhow you want to run. Shake up, baby girl, you fire past the gun. No doubt. No doubt. But you say, killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Pot of whiskey, get tipsy, but I think quite risky. Killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Pot of whiskey, get tipsy, but I think quite risky. Risky, yes, your body risky. Risky, me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky. Risky, yes, your body risky. Risky, yes, your body risky. Me no one go 50-50. Risky, yes, your body risky, yes, your body risky. Baby girl, you know I like your style. Baby girl, you know I love your body. Oh, everything you do, we do together. Baby, we are meant to last forever. No matter the weather, me and you together. You better believe it, shawty, that we gon' get this money. Oh, we gon' get this money. So keep on rockin', shawty, and let's get risky. Oh boy, risky, yeah. But you say, killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Pot of whiskey, get tipsy, but I think quite risky. Killer come, I'm getting money, big money. So what's funny? Who be risky? Pot of whiskey, get tipsy, but I think quite risky. Risky, yes, your body risky.
Okay, so now that I'm done, I'm snatching my face. I'm just gonna go on ahead and fill in my brows, and I'm just gonna finish up my eyes as well and put on lashes, and then I'm gonna come back to you guys to finish off this face. That will be to powder, to dust off the powder that's on my face right now, and to apply all the other stuff that I still need to apply, which will be your bronzer, blush, and then lipstick, and then yeah, and then we're gonna see how everything looks like after that.
You want the fun, no cares, I no go talk, Scarface for you, my child. For you, my child.
Okay guys, so we are done with this tutorial. I went and did a soft brown smoky eye and a cat liner, obviously, as you guys can see, and I didn't put on lashes because my lashes are super curly, and when I put on liner they tend to stick with the liner as well, and then they just stick together and it's just a whole lot of mess. So I did not wear lashes, but I love how this look ended up looking like. And with the foundation, I think I look good. I honestly feel like I look super good. I really love how this turned out to look like. I really love the finish of this foundation. I really love the technique. I feel like it really contributed something onto how my foundation applied, and it would probably play a lot of role towards to how long it would last on my face if I were to keep it like for longer and throughout the day. But I am not gonna. I'm probably gonna wash this face in a few minutes after taking a lot of good pictures, of course. So So yeah, this is the finished look, and still I do not feel like my skin is dried out as well. Everything still feels normal, just that I have really like bomb face and it looks so good. So yeah guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned a thing or two, or you will actually consider to follow this technique, especially if you have oily skin. I feel like it's really gonna work for people who have oily skin. Other than that, yeah guys, thank you so much for watching my video, and if you haven't yet, please do not forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment on the comment section down below. And also please do go watch my previous videos and let me know how you feel about them, and this one as well. Thank you so much guys for watching. I love you.
About the Marifa, come Madagascar, ask her.